Hello and welcome to Beyond the 90 Behind the Headlines, the women's football interview where we discuss the people, passions and personal stories behind the game. Today marks our first ever episode and we're honoured to be joined by Everton midfielder and Australia international Clare Wheeler. Claire, thank you so much for your time today. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
As you know, this interview is all about who you are off the pitch. So outside of football, if you had to describe your life in 3 words, what would they be?
Friends, family, and nature.
Nature, nice. So is that like lots of walks or?
Yeah, I think if anytime I get free time, I'm always trying to go somewhere new and within that see different places. And in regards to that, I like seeing different nature, whether it's, Iceland or walking through, paths or trails and stuff like that. I feel my best when I'm in those environments.
And you're a proud Aussie, but you've been living in the UK for 3 years now, and before that you spent some time in Denmark. If there's one thing that you miss the most about home, what would it be? It can be a place, people, a dish.
The sun. I think that we're going into UK winter, so I'm going to say that's at the front of my mind right now. But I would also say the lifestyle. I think with obviously the weather and the sun and that, we do have a different lifestyle in Australia. Up early, seize the day kind of, and I think obviously with the weather here, it makes things hard to do that.
And you talked about friends and family. So who are the people in your life that have been there throughout your career, but just in life in general as well?
I think you can't obviously move past your parents. And for me, my dad has been through my whole career with me, the ups and the downs, and to have, he was this season, he was able to come and visit me in the UK, and I think that's really special. Even though he's on the other side of the world, we always try, every Monday to have a chat, have a call, a check-in, and yeah, I feel really happy to be able to share my journey with him.
You talk about your dad there. When you were 19, you went through a really tough time losing your mum, which must have been really difficult. Did that change your perspective on life in any way?
Definitely. So my mother was diagnosed with cancer at 17, when I was 17, and then she later passed when I was 19. Through that, obviously, I was in senior school, so I'm sitting we call it HSC, where I'm from. And it definitely shaped kind of what was important at that time for me. And through all that, I think I remember just focusing on the things I can control. And that was doing well in school and pursuing my football. I was doing under 20s then. And I think the mindset and the maturity that my dad had in those moments that were really tough really showed to me, strength of a different kind. And I've been able to try and take that and learn from that myself going forward.
You talk about balancing school and football all at the same time there as well. Obviously, education is something that's quite important to you. You studied commerce and you had a career in banking. Can you tell me a bit about what that was like?
Yeah, so after I finished school, I went to the University of Sydney. And then when I finished uni, it was kind of like COVID times, and so I ended up getting a career at Macquarie Bank and did that for a year, and I worked in financial assistance in home loans, and I felt really passionate about that due to my senior schooling. Obviously with my mum falling sick, we went through a period of financial hardship, so I felt really passionate to help those who were going through something similar during COVID. And it was definitely challenging, and you learn a lot, and it was a different experience from football, but I think as a person it definitely helped me grow in a new capacity.
As you just said, helping others is something that you're passionate about as well. You're an ambassador for Kit Aid Australia. Can you tell me a bit about your work with them and how that came about?
Yeah, so since I was doing my Bachelor of Commerce, I kind of got exposure to sustainability, and I was really interested in it. And since then, I've started recently my Masters in Environment, and within the football industry, I was aware of the amount of waste going on in apparel, and so I started looking around and saw Kit Aid. So they look at reusing kit to give to communities in need. And not only them, but also Unwanted FC look to repurpose kit to give it a new life. And I think that all helps in kind of promoting a more circular economy and kind of improving the footprint that we're leaving in the football industry.
And your work with them, what's that like to see how your actions have an impact on others?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's an Australian-based charity, kid aid, so it's hard to obviously be hands-on, but the fantastic work that David does do, with connections with the Marshall Islands and donating kit to rural communities, but also understanding the logistical issues that they face in regards to, the largest is transport, getting the kits out to these communities. So having an understanding of that and trying my best to promote it, to give it light, and to maybe help build those connections that you need to get the kit to people in need.
And you've also volunteered at some local food banks here in England as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's clearly something that's really important to you, just helping the wider community.
Yeah, I think obviously for someone who's experienced times where, I needed someone to help me, now that I'm in a position where I am able to help others, I feel a responsibility to do so. Before I was doing my Masters, I felt like I had free time and I wanted to give back, and so I reached out to the Salford Food Bank and was there for a couple of months, just helping wherever I could, whether it was helping with Instagram or helping actually pack food banks. So it was an eye-opening experience, and I think I'm really grateful for the time I did have there. But I think it comes from a sense of duty, because I've known what it's kind of like to be in a position where you need help.
Claire, thank you. We've reached the part of the interview where I've got a bit of a challenge for you. Yes. So we're going to build your perfect day off with a series of this or that questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
So let's start with your morning routine.
Mm-hmm.
Are you an early riser or do you prefer a lie-in?
I think I'm pretty consistent with my sleep, so I always kind of go to bed around 11 and always kind of wake up around 8. Okay. So I think it's probably on the later side for a few Aussies. So yeah.
Nice. And remember, this is your day off, so
okay.
Are you going cheat meal or clean meal?
I would just say I keep it pretty similar. I would say if I'm going to have a cheat meal, it would probably be an off day. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your go-to?
Pancakes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you cook them yourself? Are you a good cook?
I love brunch. Yeah, I'm a brunch girl. I think if I'm going to have a cheat meal, I'm going to go big and go out, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Let's go to relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you more video games or watching a movie or TV show?
I'm more reading a book and video games. Yeah, I think the book has been recent. Obviously, there's been a lot of things about fantasy, novels and stuff like that. The whole ACOTAR and Fourth Wing, all that craze. I've been on it. So yeah, it's been more reading and good video games.
And video games, which ones do you play?
It's kind of left of field, but it's probably just like Battlefield 6. Yeah, it's probably different. Growing up, my brother was really into video games, so as a way of obviously connecting with him, we used to play a lot with each other growing up, like Call of Duty and all of that. And now that I'm overseas, it's still fun to still have that with him and with friends back home.
Nice. And then finally, do you prefer a solo day or a day out with friends?
I feel like good times are always better shared, so with friends.
Any particular activities? Where are you going?
Like I said, if it's in nature, I like to go, hike somewhere new. Otherwise, a nice, stroll in the city. Like right now, the Christmas markets are on in Manchester and Liverpool. So, just seeing. I'm in a country it's new to me. Obviously, I've only been here for 4 years now, so I feel like there's so much left for me to see and explore.
Fantastic. Claire, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
And thank you for being our first interviewee. It's been an honour and it's been even better getting to know you.
No, thank you so much for having me.